Hi guys, this is Kimmy Yanks and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Saturday morning at the 2024 F1 Belgian Grand Prix. Well, the time right now is 8:20 in the morning and I'm about to head out from Hasselt for circuit the Spa-Francorchamps, just over an hour's drive away. But yeah, yesterday the traffic situation wasn't the most ideal, so I'm still hoping to make it in time to the circuit. Unfortunately, we have really gloomy weather since morning. It's been raining, and the weather report suggests that this is going to be a rainy Saturday at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. I'm hoping that things improve as the day wears on, but knowing the weather reports here, they are pretty accurate. So, whatever content sharing there might be happening today with you guys would be restricted to indoors. Anyways, yeah, still hoping that things improve. We've got FP3 and qualifying happening today. It'll be interesting to see how Red Bull approach this qualifying session, considering that Max Verstappen has a 10-place grid penalty. Do they go conservative or do they go all out in quali and then build their race from there on? Charles Leclerc is visiting the Ferrari F1 Club at 11 in the morning, so I have to make it in time and get some selfies and autographs from drivers like I always do on a race weekend. Anyways, guys, more content coming away, so watch this space and I'll see you all shortly. Welcome to the Paddock Club parking, and today I'm actually going to be taking the shuttle instead of walking down to the Paddock Club because it'll be a lot quicker, and the shuttle actually takes you across the main grandstand below the bus stop chicane, and then it comes out through the support race paddocks and then into the Paddock Club entry. So that's the plan, to take the Paddock Club shuttle today to the racetrack. This is the route for the Paddock Club shuttle service in a Polestar, and we'll be going under the track through another tunnel. This is just right after the bus stop chicane, which is right there.
Sprintrace is tot 10 uur, dus van 9 uur tot 15 uur.
Ah ja. Ah ja, ik weet dat toen is dat trouwens.
You can see the paddock entry there. And now we turn left through the support race garages of Formula 2.
Waar?
Schafbeeld.
morning from the Paddock Club, the Ferrari F1 Club. Let's be specific about it. And yeah, panning around over to the stands. The stands are still empty, relatively. There was a good amount of traffic coming into the circuit, but we were able to come in at around 10 here. And just got done with the F3 sprint race. Good result for Prema, 1-2. And well, the circuit is still a little damp. There are patches of dry lines appearing now. Hopefully, if we don't have another shower, we could be having a majorly dry FP3 session. But looking at how the weather is right now, right up in the sky, it can really get cold and windy and rainy. So fingers crossed, let's hope that the rain stays away. Welcome to the start of FP3. There was a downpour in between, and yeah, has changed the track conditions quite considerably. All the dry lines that were appearing now on the racetrack have turned damp. So intermediate tires would be the way to go forward for all the teams here. And yeah, let's see how the weather changes. It's quite inclement right now. You can actually see on the screens there, giant screens, that there is definitely a spray coming out from the Red Bulls. So hopefully the rain does not intensify, and I mean, the drizzle is still on, so yeah, not the ideal conditions to go around the track in, but it is what it is. So the session has now been red flagged due to Lance Stroll having an on-track incident. He's broken his suspension, and by the looks of it, I don't think the FIA might restart this session anytime soon. They're going to let the clock run down. We still have about 46 minutes left on the clock, and the conditions for sure have worsened from what they were at the start of the session. The rain has intensified, not really let up, and things are really getting pushed towards running on the wet tires. So it is not the most ideal conditions when it comes to racing here in Spa, but this is Spa weather for you, and the inclement weather can put a spanner in the works for almost everyone. Well, it was all an anticlimax for free practice 3, with the rain coming down and really worsening the weather here. Unfortunately, after Lance Stroll's issue on the Kemmel Straight, or actually the run up to the Kemmel Straight, the session got red flagged. The session did go green again, but none of the drivers were really interested in going out, which is obvious because we're just a couple of hours away from qualifying, so you don't really want to jeopardize your car and the session itself. So there were some that did go out for a sighter lap, but that was about it. It's purely wet right now, so things are only going to get worse from here. Let's hope the weather eases up later in the afternoon for qualifying.
This iconic circuit. All of the guests have been saying that each year that they come back to Spa, or some of them for the first time, this is a magnificent circuit just to look at. It is almost like nowhere else we go to anywhere on the calendar, but you get to drive it. So talk to us about what that feels like. The first few laps is always special in a race car. What's it like when you rolled out here yesterday?
It's incredible. I mean, you see Eau Rouge, I think, a little bit from here maybe, and when you are in the car, it just feels unbelievable. The amount of compression there is in the bottom of Eau Rouge and how much uphill it is, and you don't see the end of it, is a really, really special feeling. On the dry, it's now quite easy flat. In the wet, it's a bit more difficult. But it's such a challenging track, and even though Eau Rouge maybe became a little bit easier throughout the years because the car got quicker and quicker and had more grip, so now it's flat out easily. There are other corners that became a lot trickier with the years, and today Tour, like turn 10, which is the very fast left-hander, is now a really, really big challenge because it's very close of being flat, but not quiet. So yeah, the limitation changes on the lap, but it still remains one of the most challenging one of the season.
Welcome to the tour of the Paddock Club here in Spa-Francorchamps. The start of the F2 sprint race is now delayed by another 15 minutes, so I decided to just give you all a quick walkthrough of how things look. This is one end of the Paddock Club with the viewing terrace right there. I'm not going to be venturing out because it's raining. This is one of the global partner lounges. That is the view of the rest of the track. You can actually see Eau Rouge, actually not Eau Rouge, that's Raidillon. So you can see Raidillon and then the run up to Kemmel right there. That is the fan zone. We still have some stands that have been freshly built over there for better views, and unfortunately this run up to Eau Rouge has gone through an extensive level of deforestation, which is a bit sad to see because Spa is such a green track, heavily dense in the Ardennes forest. Anyways, walking further on, this is the next level of suites that we have here. We have the Red Bull Lounge, which of course is for the guests of Red Bull. The Oracle Red Bull Racing Team and Visa Cash App RB. And these are some of the food stations that have been laid out for the guests to have their meals. And here we've got and here we've got the Scuderia Ferrari F1 Club, where I'm seated and enjoying my views of the racetrack from here. Moving further ahead, we have the next segment of the Paddock Club hospitality area. So you can see the legend here of how it's all laid out, and yeah, this is the F1 Experiences Suite. Where you can have the Legends package and paddock access for a day. This is the suite for Pirelli. So Pirelli has its own suite for the guests of the official tire supplier of Formula 1. And then here you've got the food stations to cater to the guests of these partners of Formula 1. Then we've got another section of the Paddock Club right here. So this is the club suite, which basically is for the teams that have fewer number of guests as compared to, let's say, a Ferrari or a Red Bull. So you have McLaren, you've got Mercedes, you've got Alpine, you've got Aston Martin, and their guests seated in the club lounge, which is more like a shared space. Walking further on to the final section of the Paddock Club, which is on level 2. Level 1 is purely for the staff, the hospitality services, and the expert host. And here we've got a club lounge, another part of the club lounge where people are just relaxing and enjoying the race. This again is restricted access, so this is the club suite actually. So I had to stop the feed right there because there was a gentleman called Michael who walked up to me and he told me that he actually saw my videos on YouTube to understand what all is there in the Paddock Club, and he said it was quite informative and he loved it because it helped him understand the general layout and where to go and get the selfies and autographs and all that stuff. So yeah, it's nice to see that you know, the YouTube channel is giving information and helping fellow fans to enjoy everything that the Paddock Club has to offer to the fullest. Anyways, this is the club lounge. You've got the champagne station there. We've got a pizza station here. We've got what else? We've got
looking at a reschedule. It also means, thank goodness,
a pasta station here. Oh no, that's still a pizza station.
TV pictures that you're looking at.
The DJ plays his tunes here. We've got simulators there. I actually was the quickest here in 2022 and 23. Second fastest in 23 and quickest in 2022. I was still doing a lot of sim racing back then. I need to get back to racing again and showcase my talent there. So, but yeah. Anyways, walking further back towards the end of the Paddock Club lounge now.
But it's got to be safe.
We still have some fans who are tired, trying to get a quick nap. Must be a long day for most of them. And then we've got, oh, the F2 sprint has been postponed. There is no further update for this. It's just been postponed, that's all. We have got these auctions for racing against dementia. It's an NGO that's run by Sir Jackie Stewart. And you can get hands on signed memorabilia, the proceeds of which go to charity. Amazing. This is the booth for making bookings for the track tours, for the photo safaris, for the support race paddock tours. This of course is the legendary F1 car. Let's put up here. We've got a station that talks about sustainable fuels in F1. So that is Formula 1 plans to go carbon neutral by 2030. So this is all about sustainable fuels. And then this is your F1 store here in the Paddock Club itself. And finally we've got the medical station here. So this is level 2. You go 2 levels down and you come out to the exit of the Paddock Club, which is right there through the turnstiles, and then from there back to the Paddock Club parking, or take the shuttle back to wherever you need to go to. Unfortunately, the F2 race has gotten postponed. I'm guessing to later in the day, or it might not happen altogether. Let's see. But yeah, thankfully the rain has stopped. It has let up, and now we can go downstairs for the first pit lane walk of the day and enjoy some sights of the teams getting ready and prepped for the qualifying, which is to happen an hour later, hopefully, weather permitting. Welcome to the first pit lane walk of the Saturday, and this is the pit lane right before the start of qualifying. There is some tension in the air. Of course it will be, because we have a wet track, mixed conditions. We could very much have a mixed grid if track evolution is anything to go by. So yeah, everyone's a bit tense. The pit lane is not as crowded as I would have expected it to be. I'm guessing it's because of the rain. But yeah, that's good for us because we get to see a lot more with lesser people around. One important thing right before any Formula 1 session is to have everything readied, and you can see the Visa Cash App left here, just cleaning and making the pit wall ready for qualifying. At the same time, you can see the mechanics right here, just doing the final checks, just to be sure everything is in order for the start of qualifying. This is a very important exercise that all the teams do, and that is to dry the pit box with these leaf blowers, basically to ensure that when the driver comes in, he is aligned with the markers, the yellow markers that you see there, and there should be no injury to the mechanics should they go in for a hot pit stop. A hot pit stop as in The driver comes into the pits, boxes, gets a change of tires and goes right back out again. Unlike what you would see, something similar to what you would see in a race. And I guess that is important because we are in the middle of a mixed conditions qualifying session. Amazing to see all the teams really busy with their leaf blowers trying to dry these pit boxes. And you can see this happening with Haas as well, the last team on the grid, or rather in the pit lane. Unfortunately, I didn't get much time, only about 15 minutes. But I really had a very productive discussion with someone who actually handles the timing loops and the telemetry data for Formula 1 across the season. And he was showing me a couple of things that I will talk about later in this video when the second pit lane walk comes in. So we are minutes away from the start of qualifying. Thankfully, there's been no more rain, but the track is still damp. So I'm guessing it will be time for the inter tires to make an appearance. Of course, the run up from Blochemont into bus stop and then the start finish straight seems to be not so damp, but I'm not so sure about the other two sectors, or rather the rest of the lap. But let's see how things pan out from here on, and yeah, we'll be interested to see how mixed up a grid we get for Sunday, because these changeable weather conditions always throw up surprises and there are always casualties in Q1 and Q2. Q1 and Q2 done. Track evolution played a big part in spicing things up. Thankfully, there were no big team casualties, and the big boys have made it into the final top 10 shootout of Q3. There is still some rain coming down. It's just a light drizzle. Q3 session getting underway now, very shortly. Inter tires, still the tires for choice. The track is not yet fully wet. So let's see how the final top 10 shootout pans out. Is qualifying done and dusted, and what a stellar lap put in by Charles Leclerc right at the end to beat Perez to what will now be pole position for the monogas driver on Sunday afternoon. Max of course was the quickest, but he has that engine penalty that puts him down by 10 places, so it's P11 for Max Verstappen. So we have Charles Leclerc and Checo Perez on the front row, followed by Lewis Hamilton in P3. Well, Lewis, we all know how good he's been in changeable weather conditions, and the racecraft and experience that this 7-time, in brackets 8-time world champion brings to the field. I'm sure Lewis will be a force to reckon with tomorrow. As for Carlos Sainz, P8 for Carlos. That will bump him up to P7 after Verstappen's penalty is applied. So yeah, a decent starting position, not the most ideal, because Ferrari would have liked Carlos to be a little bit further up to help out Charles in this fight against the McLarens and the Red Bull, as well as the Mercedes of Hamilton and George Russell. Welcome to the F2 sprint race, and the countdown timer has started. Just 4 minutes left on the clock. The grid is being emptied now of all the non-essential personnel, and yeah, it's a delayed sprint race. That is, you can see the grid lined up on the far side. Let me just see if I can zoom in. There you go. And then they have the run into turn 1, last source here, which is a very tight corner. Will be interesting to see how things pan out from here. The race got red flagged due to worsening weather conditions, and now the FIA decided to not restart the race. This is the end of the race. Only the top 5 will be awarded points, and that's a real frustrating thing for the teams. But yeah, the rain has really played a lot of spoiled sport today. Hopefully things improve tomorrow. But yeah, this is it. This is the end of the action on track for Saturday. So guys, I'm back here in my hotel room in Hasselt, and the time right now is 11 in the evening. Well, it's been a very long day at Circuit the Spa-Francorchamps. A very tiring day. Majorly down to the fact that we had a lot of bad weather at the circuit today. Gloomy throughout the day, raining, and it was not the most ideal weather for roaming around outside in at the circuit. Even the schedule for the races was, messed up because of this atrocious weather that we had to face today. The F2 sprint race got delayed to a later time, and then eventually it had to get red flagged and shortened, with the drivers getting only half the points. Thankfully, the Formula 1 qualifying session went through unhindered. A very haphazard day at the office for the teams with the inclement weather that we faced today. For me too, was not really able to meet too many drivers or get any signatures because of the weather playing spoil sport throughout the day. I hope you have enjoyed whatever content's been shared thus far. Apologies for mistakes made, if any, and I did try my best to cover as much as I could with whatever I had access to. One thing that I'm definitely looking forward to doing tomorrow is visiting the fan zone, which of course is the biggest and the best here in Europe. And yeah, looking forward to the race tomorrow with Charles Leclerc on pole. That's going to be a good start, a good place to start for him. Of course, things are not going to be straightforward because you've got Checo on the front row alongside, and then we've got Lewis Hamilton right behind him, followed by the two McLarens, and then you've got George Russell, Carlos Sainz. So yeah, a lot of challenges for Charles Leclerc to face today or tomorrow. Really tired, and you'll just go in for a shower, then head to bed, and have to leave early in the morning back to the circuit, and then from there straight back to Brussels. So we're not coming back to Hasselt tomorrow in the evening, so going to be an even more hectic day. But anyways, it is what it is, and yeah, we make the best out of it. Hope you guys have enjoyed all the content that's come your way today. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll be leaving the links to my other social media handles in the description below, so if you guys want to connect with me there, please do so. This is Kimmy Yang signing off. Take care guys, stay safe, and enjoy your evening.